Hi, I'm Chris, the Fireplace Whisperer, and I want to talk to you about zero clearance fireplaces. Hang tight, I'll be right back. A zero clearance fireplace is a pre-manufactured metal fireplace. It's made on the manufacturer's assembly line. It then gets boxed up and usually sold through an authorized dealer where you would walk on the showroom floor, maybe see it in person, or maybe see it in a brochure, and then you purchase it. You would then either take it home yourself and install it yourself, or an installer would come and bring it into your house. They'd unbox it, put it in place, and vent it, hook up gas line or electrical or whatever is needed for the fireplace that you chose. Now, there's usually just two fuel types that are the most common. One is wood and one is gas. And if it's gas, it's usually natural gas that then can be converted to propane if you're running on propane. Now, there's usually two classifications for the fireplaces. One would fall into a heat-rated classification. The other is a decorative rated classification. The decorative rated really is a fireplace that's designed for aesthetic value, but most of the heat goes up the chimney. A heat-rated unit is designed to grab and retain as much heat and put it into the house and try to prevent heat from going up the chimney, even though you do lose some heat going up the chimney. But it's a heat-rated unit, and you also have the aesthetic value of flame. These pre-manufactured units are UL tested, and what that means is that a manufacturer, when they create a new fireplace, they have to ship it off to a UL listed company, where this company puts this unit through rigorous testing, and they're the ones that discover where the minimum clearances are. They figure out the efficiency ratings on the fireplace, and they really put together most of the installation manual. Now, a fireplace is pretty versatile in the sense that it is this pre-manufactured unit that you can put anywhere in your house. In most cases, there are a couple different locations where a fireplace can be installed. And so because it's essentially setting the unit, venting it, and hooking up gas or electrical to it, it's usually pretty versatile in the location in the home or the business that the fireplace is going to reside for the rest of its life. The makeup, the physical design of a zero clearance fireplace, how it got its name, is basically a firebox. They start with a metal firebox where if it's wood, this is where you put in the wood and this is where it burns, this is where the flame that you see. If it's gas, natural gas or propane, this is where the burner is going to be, and that's where the flame is. So you have this firebox that's just producing an immense amount of heat. You then have an airspace and then another layer of metal, the shell that kind of wraps and encapsulates this fireplace, and that reduces the temperature. By doing that, this airspace reduces the temperature on the outer part of this zero clearance fireplace, and that enables you to put wood framing really close to the unit, and that's where it gets its name, zero clearance fireplace. You can also vent these units differently. Gas, you can vent straight out the back because it's normally a direct vent unit, or you can vent the gas up through the roof, 1-story, 2-story, 3-story, usually not a problem. If it's a wood fireplace, you have to terminate vertically. You have to go up. And so whether it's straight up or maybe it's out the wall and then up, there's some different configurations there for the wood fireplace. Now, there's two minimum clearances that you have to pay very close attention to. One clearance, and this is the first clearance that you're going to be looking at, is the minimum distance to framing. When you run your vertical studs right next to the fireplace, when you run your header across, all of that has minimum distances, and so you want to pay really close attention to that. The second set of minimum clearances have to do with the finishing in the front of the fireplace. Because so much heat comes out and then heat rises, the facing around the fireplace, the mantle or television or artwork, the hearth coming out in the front, there's minimum clearances required. So keep that in mind, 2 sets of clearances, one kind of behind the scenes, one what you see when it's all finished. The advantages of the fireplaces are they have a built-in look. So they look like they were put in when the house was built or when the addition was put on. It has just real clean lines, and it's either flush with the wall, maybe it protrudes out into the room a little bit, but it has this built-in look, this real finished look. You can put a mantle across, which some really love mantles. They're very nostalgic. It's what they grew up with. They love to be able to hang their stockings on it or put some knickknacks or maybe their great-grandfather's mantle clock on the mantle. Other advantages are you can usually get a larger firebox, you can get larger viewing area in a fireplace, and so that's why a lot of homeowners choose the fireplaces. Something to be aware of, and it just comes with the territory. Fireplaces usually cost more in the end. So you have the fireplace itself, you have the venting, now you have to do wood framing around it, and then your hardy board or drywall, tile, stone, mantle, hearth. There's a lot of things that have to do with this fireplace to get it finished and looking nice. And so usually it costs more for a fireplace than, say, an insert or a freestand, which I'm going to talk about those in a different video. In a nutshell, that's a zero clearance fireplace. Now there's lots of different options, so as you hunt online, looking at different ideas and photos, and then you go to your local dealer, you're going to be more educated, more aware. Once again, I'm Chris, the Fireplace Whisperer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you're local, please come into our store and we can show you what we have. If you're not local, happy hunting on your zero clearance fireplace. And thanks for watching again. If you haven't subscribed yet and want to subscribe for our future videos, just hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell. That little bell will give you a notification when I upload the next video. We'll talk to you later. Bye.